Well, how's the preparation been going for for the Titans here this week?
It's good. Obviously, they're coming off a bye week. We're coming off a win. One thing that we talked about is what we can't do is let up. Can never become complacent. And there's always things that we can be better. There's always things that we can work on. There's always things that we can improve on. And I think that's really the message this week is just come in and improve. Don't think that we're somewhere when we're not. And they've had a bye week and really 2 weeks to prepare and to prepare for this game. So they're going to come in healthy, juiced up, ready to go. Obviously, it's at their place, so they're protecting their house, their home. And we got to go in there with the mentality just to outwork them, to outwill them.
And just was looking at all the numbers, everything in the top half of the league except for passengers at 17. But how do y'all try to score more and cut down on the turnovers?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, like you said, obviously the first and main thing is protecting the football. Like I talked about after the game, whether it's picking it up or running it, no matter who has the ball is the issue. So I have to do a better job, obviously, taking care of that, too. And then when we get down there, it's just been, whether it's penalties, whatever it may be, just shooting ourselves in the foot in the red zone. We're doing a great job of getting down there and getting in that red zone, but, we're not being able to put points on the board. And so that's one thing, you look back on that, we're going to have to do better at, whether that's work at red zone more or that's just work on execution. Excuse me. But pay attention to the details. Details in the small thing is what we're working on. And, that'll help lead to our finish and execution in the red zone.
How do you work on your own ball security?
Yeah, ball security, so drills out there. Just being able to work through, whether they're pulling at it, you got people punching at it. I'm sure you'll see some of it in Indy today. Just going through ball security drill as far as, from the quarterback position for us. And then after that, it's just thinking about it. You go out there and it's just whether, on that, the red zone one down there, whether you thought I was in or not, you got to finish through that end zone, finish with the ball, handing it to the ref. And so, it's just about your finish. And it's about, like I said, at the end of the day, just protecting the football. But, you talk about 5 points of ball security. And so, just hitting all those. And those are the little details that you think about, but you don't really think about. But that you just have to hone in on, especially when, you think you might have something.
How much is that is mental in terms of, you got to, remembering things versus a physical instinct?
Yeah, a lot of it is just instinct. Running backs, they know when they feel people around them, they go and claw the ball. Obviously, as quarterbacks, you're thinking, okay, 2 hands in the pocket. When you break the pocket, keep it. And then obviously, as a runner, you obviously have to know that. I've ran enough in my career that I got to know to keep on and hold on to the ball, secure when you get in there and finish. When you get close to the end zone. So those are things that I know. And obviously we'll continue to learn from, but, obviously not try to make those same mistakes happen twice.
This is not something where they're making you sometimes in college when they teach you how to ball everywhere meetings or at home,
No, like I said, I knew what those mistakes were when they happened. We'll correct them and, we can work on them out here. Like I said, you'll see some drills out here, maybe Indy, whatever it is. Or, I might just tell people, hey, if I'm carrying the ball around, whatever it is, just try to poke it out at any point in time. And so, it's just really keeping that conscious awareness up about it.
Do you notice any differences in preparation this week just with the history that Coach Smith has with the Titans? And I don't know, does he give you any kind of insight or anything about the team, the facility, anything like that?
Yeah, obviously as a team, as a staff, there are a lot of conjoining overliers, whatever you want to call it, of people who have been in the same similar places or have been at Tennessee or been here, vice versa. And so, there's a great knowledge of both sides on both sides of the ball. So, we know, what they're what they're thinking. Obviously, we're not sitting in the team meetings, so we don't know exactly, what Braves in there saying. But, we have a gist of it. And, we just want to be able to go out there and, not have a lull and not be complacent of where we are. And we know that, if we go in there and do that and we go in there, on a high horse, whatever it is, and they come out there and hit us in the mouth. So we just got to go out there from the jump, off rip, be able to start fast on all 3 phases of the ball, offense, defense, and special teams, and just be able to go out there and play who we are.
Did you get any extra info from Tyler about his dad, or did you guys talk to him at all about it, or say you can't talk to your dad this week?
No, we joked about it. We told him that, Tyler probably already sent him the iPad and everything. They're just joking about it, but Nah, he's great with it.
Obviously, you and Kyle Pitts have a good thing going on right now, especially here recently. But from the outside looking in, what are some little things that, between y'all's connection, that kind of shows you that there is not just improvement in trust, but like a growth in trust between the two of you?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just go to, just basically, I don't want to say my ball placement or whatever, but, just giving them a chance. You saw the amazing catch he had with the shallow. I felt the guy outside. Didn't really want to, lead him out in front and get smacked, so I put it behind. Obviously, again, not meaning to put it, a couple feet behind, but obviously, he just goes and makes a catch. Then, obviously, both those late there in the game, those last two plays that we threw. The first one was incomplete, but still gave him a chance. It kind of bobbled around, tipped out, could have been a better ball. And then, like I said, came back to that same play. He ran the same exact route, just gave him a better ball. And you just put it anywhere in the vicinity, he's going to go up and get it. So just the trust and confidence that we have within each other. We're out here talking in between each rep, in between plays, just trying to figure out the best way to rep something, the best way to get the route ran. He's doing, I feel like, a better job of, understanding. Earlier in the game, we had one, pretty sure it was on that first drive, where it kind of got tipped by a linebacker, but he was an option route, and he was a little slow into it. We just came back and just said, hey, you just got to come off with speed off the ball. There's different things within a route where he comes off the sideline, hey, they're dropping this corner route one time when I was working the opposite side. So he just comes back and, just does a great job of letting me know what he sees, what he feels, and I kind of do the same thing. And I feel like that's where you learn, no matter if it's me and Kyle or me and John, me and Matt, it doesn't matter who it is, just being able to talk and communicate, I think, is, where you see the most growth.
Does Kyle feel like a player who would be the tight end, or does it feel something different?
Are you asking how Kyle feels?
Or how do you feel? Do you feel when you're playing with Kyle like he's like a tight end, or does it feel different?
I feel like I'm playing with a really athletic football player. He's able to put if you want to call tight end, putting your hand in the dirt and blocking, he can do everything. So however you want to define your term as tight end, I'd say, like I said, I feel like he's a really versatile football player.
You've talked about the red zone concerns, but you guys topped 400 yards for the third straight week, despite having extremely limited participation and contributions from your starting running back. What do you gather from that? What does that mean for the future of this offense and the depth of the offense?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter who goes out there and who plays. We're all expected to play at the same level and same execution as so-called the starters. So it doesn't matter who's in there. We can roll it in. It's next man up mentality. You got to be ready to know the game plan inside and out, which I feel like, the younger guys and the guys who, maybe not be up this week, but could be up or whatever, they do a great job of always honing in on the game plan. We do a great job of practice and making sure that, ones, twos, and threes get game plan reps for, that situation may occur where someone goes down, someone's got to come up. You got to be ready to go. But what that shows is just everyone's hard work and dedication to the game plan. Each week coming into work every single day to get better, to improve. And so, it's just a testament to the offense and the coaches and everyone around just being able to push, being able to work and get better.
Did you know pregame that this might have to be a different distribution of carries than a normal game?
Yes and no, but I mean, like I said again, it doesn't matter who's going to get the carry. Once they get the ball in the hands, they're all expected to do the exact same thing, and that's gain positive yards.
When did you know that Bijan was going to be a little bit more?
It really wasn't up to me. I mean, obviously that it's medical, whatever he's got going on. And so for me, I was just concerned on the game. Like I said, it doesn't really matter who you put out there. At the end of the day, we're going to go out there with 11 guys and go play football. And so, my biggest concern was going out there and playing the best game that I possibly could play.
You know you don't always pay attention to it, but there's been a lot of criticism surrounding you. How do you handle that? Arthur was just talking about maybe whether you have undue criticism or not.
I mean, I'm just trying to show up to work every single day to get better. I obviously know there's mistakes that have been made, those turnovers over the past couple of weeks. Obviously, that's something that, got to clean up, got to be better at, got to protect the football like I've been saying. But at the end of the day, you still turn on, I'm playing fast football. I'm going where I want to go with the ball. You talk about in the pass game, making plays with my legs, making the defenders make a decision. That's when you see the one that Tyler busts open, wide open. But, yeah, like I said, at the end of the day, I feel like I'm playing really good football. Obviously, other than the turnovers, got to clean those up. but I'm seeing it really well. Playing fast, playing efficient, getting the ball out of my hands and letting the playmakers go make plays.
Why do you feel, or maybe you don't know, but why do you feel like maybe there is like unwarranted criticism? Because Panthers Bryce Young is 0-6, yet you're finding ways to win games, yet there seems to be so much more pressure and talk about your game than Bryce Young.
Yeah, I mean, whether we're 0-6, whether we're 5, whatever it is, or whether I've thrown however many touchdowns or intercepted, like there's always going to be something that people are going to come at that you haven't done well at, or so like you're never going to win. And so for me, it's just about how do I win each day and how do I get better each day, and just keep going. It doesn't really matter to me what anyone says, as long as I'm getting better and as long as I'm continuing to grow within the game. Within the offense, within, the team as a whole, I feel like it's an improvement. So like I said, obviously there's been costly turnovers at costly situations at costly times. And sure, that's where you can get the criticism. But then you got to look overall the aspect of the game too. Like I said, I felt like over the past couple of weeks I've been playing fast, been seeing it well, knowing where to go with the ball, getting the ball out of my hands. And like I said, at the end of the day, it results in a win. But, like everyone knows, and I know myself, you got to get rid of those costly turnovers, costly errors.
So it's fair to say that each game you play, you feel like you're getting a little bit more calmer and more confident?
For sure.
Des, when we're in an open locker room, I see you herding cats sometimes to get some of the pass catchers to a meeting. Is that specifically related to the passing game, and what is the genesis of that? Is that something that you're leading? I'm just kind of curious.
Yeah, that's something that I'm leading. Getting there after practice to go watch the practice that we just had. Obviously, it's new game plan stuff. So obviously today is like our first day seeing it, first day, installing, and then we go out on the field and run it. So just to go back and, big thing this week is just details, as every week, but to go back and see the details of routes, let them know what I'm thinking versus, maybe it's a scout team D, maybe it's going against our defense, but just seeing how different plays work out, what we're expecting on Sunday, and then really just, hearing everyone talk. There's no coaches in there, so there's no right or wrong answers. But just hearing, the tight ends here from the running backs here, obviously me here to the wide receivers, just everyone hearing a different voice coming or what they thought on this route. Because, one of Jonu's routes that he runs and how he feels or sees some might help Scotty Miller in another route or on another day. So it's just really just getting the offense just kind of all together.
Is that something that you've been doing since the beginning of the year, or did that start sometime during this?
No, that's been since the beginning.
Hey, Des, what do you see, how do you look at their safeties now that Kevin's been traded? Fulton and Jackson might be back there.
Yeah, obviously, there could be a Rolodex of guys back there. But, you see starting shelled, they like to rotate, down which way or another. But, they're starting a lot too high. It's not, too of a complex defense as far as structure-wise, but will try to do some things to mix it up, maybe get you off, whether they're dropping out to Tampa 2 or whatever. But they do a good job of, attacking the ball and seeing ball in space. And I feel like, the backers too do that, as well as just playing in space. But the defense as a whole, it's a great defense. Obviously, like you said, they've had some trades. But, those guys up front, Simmons, Reaver, they do a great job of getting after the quarterback and attacking, being a penetrating front. Like we said from the beginning, if you're going to put 4 guys out there and not 5, obviously they trust those 4 guys up front.
And Landry and Arden Key were a couple of scout poor guys I looked at. What do we see in Landry and Key?
Yeah, obviously those are 2 guys who are more like the lanky surfer type guys is what we like to call them. Being able to play, obviously, both run, both pass, both keeper. Play with great speed. Like to rush the edge. That's what I got for you.
Going back to the meetings that Joe was asking, did you do those at Cincinnati too, or is that an NFL thing that you just spoke about?
No, yeah, that's something I did back in Cincinnati too.
High school? just checking how far back it went.
It wasn't to my leadership role in high school yet.
Was that a senior year thing at Cincy? Was that junior year?
It was like the last couple of years, 2 or 3.
Anything else? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Coach, what are some of the things you all are working on as you prepare for the Tennessee Titans ball club?
Well, the first thing is that, we got to stop Derrick Henry. Really good running back. He can run the ball. and people don't understand that. He's a big, powerful man, but he gets stronger as the game goes on. And you'll see him, you'll stop him at 2, 3, 4, and all of a sudden it'll be 60. You're like, man, how did that happen? Well, you got to keep tackling. And I've been fortunate enough to be on the other side and where we won, and then on the other side where we lost. And the biggest thing you have to do is you got to gang tackle. One guy's not going to bring him down. The defense knows that, and we got to be smart enough to understand that when we're going to have a good tackling plan for him and understand that one guy's not going to do it.
And I watched Spears in their bowl game. How's he transitioned into the league?
Very good, very good. You can see that they use him. They put him in. He's at third down back right now. Henry gets in sometimes, but Spears, he's a dangerous guy, in the backfield. He does a really good job. They run the ball with him. They throw the ball to him and stuff like that. So you can see they're incorporating him into their passing game, ISOs and stuff like that, which is a good sign of a good offense.
And Coach Mike said yesterday he might have to play Malik and Levis because of Tannehill's injury. Do you get ready for all three, or how does that work?
Well, the good thing is we got film on Tannehill, and we know that really good quarterback. He's been starting ever since up until their open week. And then the young guys, you got to go back and look at film. You got to go back to preseason, see what they did. We also we know who Malik is, and we know we watched him last year when he got a chance to come in, strong arm. Guy who can scramble, get out in the space, and throw the ball deep. So, again, with the young quarterback, you got to go back to college. But we watched him against Chicago, and he did a really good job. Those guys competed. They did a good job. And, preseason is a little different than regular season. So now whoever shows up, we got to be prepared for them.
The way you talk about Derrick Henry is when you're preparing for Tennessee's offense, is that more of a unique challenge than a lot of other teams you play, just because the league is getting so pass heavy and everything, and they present a much kind of different set of?
Well, the offense is kind of like when I was playing. It was a great running back, and then the quarterback supported him. Now it's flipped, but you could see Derrick Henry is still capable of making those runs and getting the game out of hand. And when he does that, it puts your defense on the heels. So the biggest thing we got to do is we got to hopefully get a chance to make him one-dimensional. But again, like I said, the more he carries the ball, the more he pounds you, the more he does that. So he gets stronger the more he carries. The thing we got to do is we got to make sure that we get him before he get in the open field.
Is this kind of weird for you guys and so many guys on the South who are in Tennessee? Yeah, together or not together at varying points in time. Like, is that? I mean, that doesn't seem like that happens all that often in the league. Is that kind of going to be weird in some ways?
Well, I mean, and on top of that, they also having like an alumni weekend. So we got a chance. So there's like about 50 or 60 ex-players that are going to be there that we know most of them. And it is. It's kind of like you're going back home, but you're actually going to win the game. You know a lot of players over there. You know a lot of the staff people. You know the ownership. And, it's like a homecoming, but your job is hey, you coach for the Atlanta Falcons, and we're trying to go over and get a win.
Obviously, you were there 1 year, but are you going to get
I was there 1 year as a player.
Yeah, that's what
I was there 7 years as a coach.
I mean, as a player, though,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, a lot of alumni come out. Are they going to honor you during a timeout?
Nah, that never happens. Me, Steve Jackson, and Frank Bush, you guys are traitors.
Is there a coaching point for avoiding that Derrick Henry stiff arm?
Yeah, go low.
Yeah.
Get up underneath it. Yeah, I'm telling you, we've seen him throw a lot of guys out the club.
Yeah.
And that you don't want to be on the tape doing that, So the biggest thing we got to do is we got to make sure that, he's a big, strong, powerful man. And you're talking about a guy 6'3", about 245, 250 coming at you, and you're standing still. And it's almost unfair. But you can't sit there and wait for him to initiate contact. You got to take the contact to him. And that's one of the things that when we were on the winning end, we got a chance to do that. And we were on the losing end, we got a chance to see the other side. And, that's what you have to do. You have to be initiative. You got to take the fight to Derrick Henry. You got to be in the backfield. D-line got to be in the backfield. Linebackers got to be in the backfield. And that's when you get a chance to stop him. But if you let him get on your side of the ball, it's a different story. And we've seen it on tape.
Have y'all put together a film clip of him throwing guys with that stiff arm? Do you show that?
I think all our guys know that, and they've seen that. And it even happened this year again already. So you don't want to be on the receiving end of that stiff arm.
Do you guys kind of have some fun with Tyler to get a little inside info about his dad?
A little bit.
Now that Jeff Okudah's had some full games ahead or under him, how would you evaluate his impact?
Well, to me, I think he's still coming on. I think one of the biggest things that I see is getting in supreme condition. But past that, technique is good. He's tackling. He's physical. He's everything we've seen. And then, like you said, when you get 7 weeks off, right now he's really played like 4 or 5 weeks. So really he's kind of getting into that groove that guys would have had past training camp. So he's getting into the groove of, I think he's playing like around 60, 65 plays a game. And that's really a lot for a guy coming off of a 7 week, delay. So, but he's out there. He's grinding. He's doing what he's supposed to do. And we expect him to do that.
The defense has only allowed 1 rushing touchdown. Is that a credit to the run defense in general or more so the red zone defense?
Well, I would put, all 11 guys are out there at all times. I think the run defense is doing a great job. Sometimes we play with a light box, and that means there's not enough guys in there, so somebody else has a 2-gap. They're doing a fantastic job, the D-line is, and the linebacker. So they're actually doing that, and for us to stop the explosive passes. And then when you get to the red zone, then now we get other guys in there. So I think it's a combination of both red zone and the D-line.
Anything else? You mentioned Derek Henry stiff arm. You saying ask this. Were you ever on the receiving end of one in your career?
Nah. I was always a cut low guy.
All right.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I know what we'll talk about Sunday, but I'm good. And just, focused on Tennessee and just ready to go.
When did your headaches subside?
Yeah, it was, a day later, I was starting to feel better. So, yeah, it was tough, but, it's all good. I'm all good now.
Did you get a sense of what maybe triggered it, or like did you have headaches at Texas? Like,
I mean, it was just something I was, just going through. It's what happens sometimes, but I'm all good now. So, yeah.
Have you had a history of migraines?
No.
Okay.
No.
So it came out of nowhere on you?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Full participant today? You felt full participant?
Yeah.
Right, you felt good?
Felt full participant. Felt good. Just trying to get ready to go, and so I feel good.
Have you noticed all of the hullabaloo around your situation Sunday? Did you pay
Not at all, man. Yeah, I stay away from all that. I didn't know it was that big. I didn't know that, so I just try to stay away from it and just keep my mind, clear and just stay focused.
Well, you've been active on social media, so did you change your rhythm then because someone told you to, or because you've seen stuff before?
Oh, I mean, probably Instagram, Twitter. No, I'm off that. But I'll go on there, to repost something. But other than that, that's all I do on there.
Bijan, how were you feeling when you came in there at the very end for that one carry? Did Art tell you anything specifically, just feeling the way you were feeling during that game?
No, it was more just to get the defense, backed off a little bit, just because we're in 2 minute. So, I'm still a team player, so I'm going to do whatever I can, even though, stuff's going on with me. I'm still going to try to do whatever I can to, help the team.
Desmond was going through, I saw some of the ball security drills with you guys today. All the quarterbacks were. What was it like to have them go through it, and how important is it for quarterbacks as well to make sure they hold on to the ball and not fumble it?
I mean, it's very important. I mean, even if, you got Desmond, who's a running quarterback, so it's just as important, for him to have the secure ball security and to make sure that he's doing all the fundamentals to, grow as a runner, just like, how we do it every single day. So it was good to see Desmond out there, getting banged up a little bit with trying to get his ball security back.
Have you, is that something that, the quarterbacks aren't used to getting hit as much, so is it fun to kind of see them?
Oh, yeah. And then we'll joke around with Desmond all the time. If I could have went in there and just punched it out, I would try it, but it's good to see all of them trying to get to work too.
Tyler is going to be going up against his dad, facing his dad for the first time ever. So is it kind of interesting? Have you talked to him about
Tyler?
Yeah, Vavorol?
Oh.
Yeah, practice.
I was like.
Or Algier, you're probably thinking, but no.
Yeah, I was like, Tyler.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you guys kind of messed with him a little bit about, you're going up against his dad? Are you not talking to him? Have you said anything to him?
No. I even picked that up. So, now that I know that, it's time to go mess with him.
Yeah.
Time to go mess with him a little bit. So. that's cool.
Derrick Henry has long been considered one of the best, if not the best running back in the league for a long time. Have you modeled any of your game off of his play, or is there anything from him that you've learned?
Yeah, I mean, I respect, Derrick Henry to the fullest. I think he's a Hall of Fame player, and I think that he's led the example of, how to play running back. But, the thing that I like about how he plays the game is, it's all downhill, and, he's not looking to make cuts around or run sideways. Like, he's just trying to get downhill as fast as he can to get in the end zone. But his physicality, I mean, he has the legendary stiff arm that we all see. So I respect him to the fullest. And hopefully I get to talk to him, when the game's all said and done.
When you were discussing your status before the game with Arthur, was there any talk about you not being active? Was it that bad?
No, I mean, we were just trying to fill it out. But yeah, I mean, that's all I'm gonna say on that, because I know it was a big situation from that game.
What have you learned about playing on the road in the NFL thus far?
We just gotta, execute. We gotta score in the red zone when we're down in the red zone. Eliminate the noise, eliminate what we're hearing, and just understand that. It's gonna be loud. It's gonna be distracting, but we gotta lock in even more on the road, especially because for me, I came from Texas, so every road game was a hostile environment. So for me, I mean, NFL games are the same way. So just understanding that, we got to be locked in as much as we can, and can't let anything of the outside noise get in our path.
You guys still posted another game with more than 150 yards rushing. What kind of pride factor is that for you to see that depth show?
Oh man. Yeah, it was awesome to see that. Those are my brothers right there, CP and Tyler, and just to see how physical they were going downhill, and just not taking anything from that defense, but just playing the game that they've been playing. It was super awesome to see that, and for me, like seeing my brothers out there running, it gets me hyped, it gets me ready to go. But man, it was awesome to see them go to work on Sunday.
Bijan, you guys now first place in the NFC South. From the outside looking in, winnable stretch of games coming up here. What's the mentality like for you guys at this point, knowing that, hey, we are in first place, we got to keep this momentum going forward?
Yeah, I mean, we just can't get comfortable. Like, that's the big thing for us, like not getting comfortable, and, who cares if we're in first place? We got to maintain it for the whole rest of the season. We can't, it's cool that, we achieve something like that, but at the end of the day, the week's over. We have a new opponent that doesn't care if we're in first place or last place. They don't care. We got to go in there and impose our will on them. But for me, I think it's a blessing to be with these guys and just how hard we work every day. But at the end of the day, God gave us an achievement, but we got to go keep on achieving that.
Bijan, do you participate in any of these meetings that Des does with the pass catchers?
Yep, I do.
What's that like? I mean, it's like no coaches.
Yeah.
That was kind of what struck me when he was talking about it today. Is like there's no wrong answers that you can get. Like you don't feel like you have like the pressure of coaches to kind of be judging what you say there. How are those meetings?
I mean, they're great. I mean, we've been doing them since the beginning of the season, so I think they're good for us to learn what we did in practice and to see the mistakes that we made so we can correct them. But, I think Desmond is, starting to become, a super vocal leader for us. And even in the meetings, he'll give us his opinion on what he thinks, should be better on a route or the depth or, what we're trying to, accomplish when we stem or whatever it is. So, I think they're really beneficial for us. And eliminating the mistakes on Wednesday, it always makes it so much better on Thursday when we go out there and, try to execute everything that we're trying to do.
Bijan, last question for me. What is the one thing you think this offense needs to do in order to elevate you guys to the next level? Is it a mistake thing? Is it one part of y'all's game in particular? I'm trying to give away company secrets.
Yeah, just score in the red zone. That's it right there. I mean, we scored in the red zone on Sunday. It could have been a different game. But that's what we need to focus on. I mean, obviously we need to focus on everything, but we just need to start putting the ball in the end zone when we get down there.
I see Des getting you and some of the other receivers for a meeting here in open locker room. What do you get out of those?
So basically we go over stuff that we see at practice, go over stuff that we see, in film against the other teams, and just basically try to dissect and go out there and execute what we see.
Something that he said was like, there's no coaches, so there's no wrong answers. Do you feel like there's like a freedom that you have when you're in those meetings that you can just kind of spitball, toss things around without kind of that the looming presence of like a coach.
Yeah, that's how it should be, and that's what those meetings are for. Is that in general, you know? If we have certain feeling about this route, or he has a certain feeling about this though in practice, like we all have time to go in there, talk about it, and understand each other's points and just hash it out there.
Talk about facing a team that kind of mirrors what you guys like to do offensively. You know, that's kind of their bread and butter too.
You talking about the Titans?
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, you know, Coach came from there as well, Smith. So there's going to be a lot of similarities, and it's just going to be two heavyweights going at it again. You know, it's going to be a fun, physical game, and that's what football's all about.
Do you get a sense that it's personal for him, this game?
I mean, yeah. If I changed it from another program, say I was in college, right, and I transferred to another program, and I go back and I go play him, of course it's going to be personal, you know. You try to make a statement, whatever you might be, but for us, it's just another game. We got to go out there and execute and keep this win streak going.
Drake, we just talked with Bijan, and he was joking around about, you know, the drill that Des was doing with the running backs, kind of knocking the ball out. He wished he was kind of doing that with them too. Have you done that drill with Des at all, kind of knocking the ball out of his hand like that?
I'm trying to think, when did that happen?
Today at practice, apparently.
Oh, see, we was in different groups now, but ball handling is a big thing, so, you know, we try to make light out of it, you know, something that we got to do, but you got to protect the ball to win games.
Y'all ready?
I mean, they got a great running game. You know, King Henry, call him. You know, he gonna come out there ready to run the ball. We gotta be ready to stop him. That's really as much as it boils down to. But also, I'm not sure what the word is on Tannehill, but we're preparing for all three quarterbacks right now. We just go out there and play.
Yeah. And you guys build on what you've been doing so far. And how would you sum up what this defense has done through the first 3 games of the season?
I think it's a state of progression, and that's all you can ask for. You know, it's never going to be perfect, but as long as you're going forward, you know what I mean, you progress over perfection. So that's what we harp on.
Yeah. Thoughts about things you've been able to do in this year, in this clinic. You know, what has allowed you to do and grow?
Me personally?
Yeah, you personally.
Oh, shit, man. We got Jesse Bates beside me, man. The dude came in. He got hella experience, a great player, man. And all he going to do is just put me in the right position, along with Coach Gray, Coach Jack, Coach Nielsen, man. This defense really is tailored for us to make plays. We just got to execute.
Yeah, you talked about improving. Dean Peach just talked about y'all being top 10 defense. Now y'all are there.
Yes, sir.
But y'all still think you can climb? You was telling me that y'all can get better even from
Absolutely.
From that point?
First of all, shout out Dean Pease. Love Coach Pease. That's my dog. But yeah, absolutely, man. Like it's always a little thing. Like I said, it's never perfect, and we still got so much little stuff we can clean up. But you just want to keep progressing each week. I think we're doing a good job of that.
When getting ready for 3 quarterbacks, that sounds like a lot of work.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do. I mean, like right now, we have no idea what's going on. And if you want to win, you just got to be prepared. So we're going to prepare for whoever is able to come out there.
And the 3, they're all different.
Yeah, I mean, the offense is the offense, but yeah, you know, it's a little bit of difference. You know, obviously Tannehill is a vet. You know, he been in the league for a while. He know how to get the ball out, spread it around, and then you got some younger guys too. But like I said, whoever out there, we got to be prepared for him.
No, AJ played with Malik in high school, right?
AJ who?
Terrell.
He played with Malik? Yeah, okay. That's what's up.
Check in with him.
No, we ain't doing that this week. Maybe next week.
You might see.
Oh, check in with AJ. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm definitely gonna do that now.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, and then coach was saying that, hey, yeah, we're getting ready for 3 quarterbacks, but I wrote in my notebook, he said, we're going to probably see some Wildcat with Derek and the young kid, Spears.
I mean, it's Derrick Henry. I mean, you know, his name speak for itself. He's going to run the ball hard. We got to be prepared for that, be ready for it.
What about that stiff arm that he does? You've seen some folks face that a few times, right? Yeah, he's kind of famous for that.
It's a National Football League, man. It's going to be a play here and there. You got to be prepared for everything. Like I said, that's King Henry, man. Like, he got respect in this league, and we got to treat him with respect.